think I did grease them, actually. That makes sense. Yeah. Okay, these pads, although they're not horrific, they are old. And I need another tool. Oh my gosh, it's magnetized. That's cool. They're not too bad. But I'm going to replace them. Next, we're going to give this whole thing a bit of a clean. The whole idea with this is to push the piston back so I have room to put in the new brake pads. Which is great in theory, but it's just like where you're going to rest them. This piston, where you're going to... And is this piston going to play ball? Or is it going to be more difficult? Ooh. No, this one's going to... Okay. And there we go. Perfecto mondo. One more, because it's a tri-piston pot. There's also the pistons at the top, which I can press in as well, but they're actually pretty far in. Seems like it was pushing from one side more than the other, which is not ideal, but it does happen. Almost there. The question is, can we use the old brake pad? Yeah, we kind of can. But I don't see it being practical with this size G-clamp. Do I have a different size G-clamp? Yes! I'm gonna go get one. I couldn't find the other size G-clamp. Gonna try with some more grips. Just a squeeze. say I don't like how we made progress, but we did. Question is, can we get both of them in and out? And I break this in between? Probably not. That's also flat. So that side's now perfect. Okay, let's try that. That is pretty much as loose as we're going to get, because that's flush there. And I like my chances with that. It's back in. Don't you be doing that. And that slots in perfectly. Look at that. That is how you change brake pads. Just slower than it should have. Should have been, because I'm faffing around. We'll smash out the other side now. Look at that. Now, always with brake calipers, especially with something like this that goes this fast, always torque them to the right specifications using a torque wrench, which isn't one of these. So just always make sure you get the exact right specs on it. That'll be good for now. Do the other one. Right. Brake pad number 2. Now I haven't had this caliper off before, I don't think. Whereas the other one I have had off. But again, these aren't too difficult to get off because they talk to the correct spec. They have been off before. Because, no, I must have taken them off when I took the wheel off. They're greased appropriately, so maybe I did. Yeah. Okay, looking at this. Yeah, one pad's definitely warm, almost to the minimum there. So I'm glad I'm changing him. actually feels like he's double threaded, solid all the way through. Now remember, always leave your brake caliper just hanging by the brake fluid, the brake cable, as they say. These are braided lines, so I'm not overly concerned about leaving it hanging, but you know, best practice and all that shouldn't do it. You're not double threaded, you're just proper bit rusty, need a bit of grease. Fine. This thing's got a bit of stuff on it. But it comes straight out, look at that. No faff. These ones, as you can see, these are kind of how worn they are. Our new ones. Bear with. Our new ones, bear with. I like this. Now, of course, I do this every time I change brake pads, and it's highly annoying. I forget about this thing going over there. Now it's not huge, doesn't make a huge difference, but best practice is to shove that on. Just stops the brake pad, that gives it a bit of extra protection, but the way these things are built these days, they shouldn't fail. They're built to a pretty high standard. Right, that thing's going to need a clean, certainly. Of course, brake cleaner is a very, very nasty substance, and you should use gloves. Ugh. Kitchen towel shouldn't be used for cleaning. My housemates would be displeased. That's one, and I have to do this 6 times, so it takes a bit of time. Maybe I don't have to push them all the way like I did before, but it's best practice. Kind of gets you to be able to see whether the piston's working correctly as well. Like if it's not going in and it's jammed, well, then you've got a jammed piston, and that's going to cause you some braking issue. Might make your brakes very spongy, like mine are actually currently very spongy. That was due, I think, in part to my wheel bearings being so bad. Not making much progress over here, so I'll move over to the other side. I really don't understand why people go to garages for brake pads. I think they're possibly the easiest thing you can change on any vehicle. My JDM van may be an exception because you need to get the brake pads specially made, but even then, you can send off the brake pads yourself. There we go. Well, I might show you what I'm looking at. What I'm doing currently is I'm pushing in these pistons. So you've got pistons here. You can see here they're out a bit, so I'm just forcing them back in, which will give us enough space to put our two friends in. Ooh. Our two friendly brake pads in turn giving us enough space either side of the brake pads to go around the brake disc. So at the moment, with that piston pushed all the way out, there is no chance we're getting both of these in there with any room to spare. So yeah, some more pushing is needed to be done. Good enough angle? Probably not. Can I be bothered to change it? No. If you can't tell already, this is scuffed. Big scuffed. And my advice should be taken with more than a pinch of salt. But it will work. No methods. I mean, that's just slide itself in the right way. Just go all the way in. Nice. Loosen, please. Ooh. Okay, Mr. Brake Pad. Mr. Brake Piston, sorry. No, that's fine. Cool. I'll literally just slide this across if I can and do the exact same thing. Get reseated. There we go. Fabulous. These are ready to go. Give that a good old clean flip. Recognising that brake cleaner is highly corrosive. Oh, fuck. And if it gets in any cuts or bruises, it's gonna sting. Disgusting. If you're worried about double threading nuts and bolts, always just go hand tight at first. Use your hands to bring it in, don't use a screwdriver. And that's going to help you a lot. These things still feel kind of nasty. But now I know that the thread is correct using my fingers, so you get a good feel for it. You can then go in with a bigger tool. If you look here, although it doesn't look like a lot of room in there, well, that looks quite nice. That's going to be enough to shift in between our brakes. Come on, let us in. Come on. I got so lucky with the last one. Yes. So, it didn't slot just on, but that's fine. Because I have a method. I could come from behind as well and just give that a go. Now, it's literal nil that I'm out by. Take them out and go in without these. And look at that, it just slides on. Okay. Right, so once I've tightened these up, I'll need to take it out for a very slow, basically roll, and sort the fluid out, because there's no fluid in this system currently, so there's no pressure in the system. So I'll need to pump the front brake for a little bit for everything to return. I could bleed the brakes, that's probably best practice at this point. I'll see how they feel once I've got this all tightened up. And again, calipers are extremely important. These things are going to make you stop, along with engine braking. But so it's extremely important. These are torqued to the exact right setting, using a torque wrench. A torque wrench would have avoided that as well. That's a bit embarrassing. Oh, look at that. That's gross. Cool. Let's give it a roll to test it.